this podcast, we will be looking at storytellers, stories, and the reasons that oral storytelling is important in our world today. You would think with all the technology we have available that stories do not have a place anymore, but they are needed more than ever. For in storytelling is where we find truth, we find reality, and we find the heart of what it is to be human. Welcome to the heart of storytelling. My name is Alyssa, and let's go on an adventure. Welcome to this week's episode. This week I spoke with another one of my classmates, Lisbeth, who is from Sweden. I enjoyed the conversation and felt the deep wisdom in her story and her words. I hope you enjoy the episode. Welcome to this week's episode. This week we're talking with Lisbeth Solwinter from Sweden. Hello.
Hello.
So tell me about your journey into storytelling.
My journey into storytelling started when I learned to speak. I have had a lot of stories from, I don't remember how long back, and my mother told me that when she came home from work, I just met her and said, tell me a story, tell me a story. And she didn't, because she was a teacher and she had been with children all the day and she had to prepare for dinner and blah blah blah. And I remembered my uncle told me when I was little and he was visiting us, I asked him to please, can you tell me a story about a pea? So I do remember that I loved when somebody would tell me something, and I was always ready for a new story. And then when I learned to read, I started to read stories for myself. And I love to read fairy tales. And I have this lovely, lovely paperback fairy tale book as I got a birthday present, I believe. And I read it and I'm still missing it. I haven't got it any longer, but I wish I had.
Oh no, that's not good.
No.
And so what have you been doing in recent years with story?
Well, I've been telling stories whenever I had a chance that somebody would listen, and I've been telling stories at Christmas and Easter for the children, and I had also been working with disabled people who was, you call that mental disabled, and there was, I had been telling stories for them in the evenings or also at special occasions. But I haven't done it as much as I wanted to. It hasn't been a lot of space for that in my life. But I hope that now I have spaces for stories that I will be able to amuse people with them. I find it very, very amusing myself. The right story to the right person, the right place is a tremendous kind of healing. I have a co-worker where I work, and he's young, and he told me, I have this force in me. I will always have to do everything I do right. I can't allow myself to make mistakes, and I can't sleep. I don't know what to do. And then one day I said to him, Christopher, now we will take a cup of tea and have a break. Do sit down. I'll tell you a story. And he sat down and I sat down, we drank tea, and then I told him, you know, Christopher, once upon a time there was this rich man living high upon a mountain. And beneath this mountain there was a river with the clearest, coldest, healthiest water you can imagine. And every morning his servant would take his 2 jars, which were made of clay, you know, this beautiful red clay, and then he burned it in an oven. He had it under his shoulder in something like, it's called a, oh, something like that. And he would take it and he would walk all the way to the river, and on the banks he would fill his jars. He would take it on his shoulder and raise, and up he goes with those. But one of the jars had a little crack in it. And it was very sad because of it, because it felt a shame when the man has carried it all the way up the mountain. It was just half full. And the other jar was full of this lovely water. And this continued a long time. And then, one beautiful morning at the bank, the jar with the crack heard itself say, I do apologize, please forgive me. And the servant looked at it, he was surprised. For what shall I forgive you, he asked. I'm dropping. For every time you take a step, I drop. And I can't help it. I'm so sorry, please forgive me. And the servant said, I never thought of it in that way. Look at the path I carry you every day up at my right side. Look up the mountain, tell me what you see. And the deer looked, and he saw red flowers and blue flowers and white flowers and insects, and yes, he said, the servant, I have laid seeds of flowers, and you water it for me every day I walk there. And then he bent down and took his jars on his shoulders and started his walk up the mountain, and the pot went drop, drop, drop. And then Christopher said, thank you, Lisbeth. That was just the story I needed to hear. And we drank our tea in silence.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
I do love that story.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, I've heard a different version from Asia with an old woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like different, but still a beautiful, beautiful little tale. So you said stories have healing. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, but I do believe that this story with the jars and Christopher is an example on it, because if you feel there's something wrong with you and you have to do everything right all the time, as Christopher did, and he couldn't allow himself to make a mistake because it was not okay, and then he couldn't sleep. And this story showed him that there can be something good.
Imperfect?
Yes.
Yeah.
It can be out of mistakes. We have a rich source to have new adventures. A lot of things we have has come to us through mistakes. And you also know if you make a mistake what you shall do the next time. Mistakes are precious, and we need them. And we need to relax around this with mistakes. And this is the story with the two jars. A fantastic picture to, it's medicine. It's healing in it. I have heard that people with people who are addicted, that is so well doing for them to hear this story with the jars. Because there is a gift in everything, you just have to find it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And so you said you love fairy tales.
Yeah.
Do you mostly tell fairy tales or a bit of everything?
Yeah. Yes, it has been mostly fairy tales, which I told. And I have also been told about King Arthur. And maybe also episodes from Old Testament, these fantastic tales from there. Legends of what you call them, I don't know. But they have a strong power too.
Do you think the stories, like the ones from the Old Testament, the old stories, have they changed a lot, do you think, since they were written down? Do you think that they've turned into something else, or do they still have the essence of the original story?
I do believe that those stories from the Old Testament, it has been changed, sure, but I also believe that they have still something very powerful in it. Yeah. But I know that the Old Testament has been changed a lot to serve the order of humanity.
Yeah, I do have a passion for coming back to the original stories, because I think the original medicine that you're talking about, the original magic of the stories, I think we're losing it with each time we change it. We're losing the medicine that was originally intended.
I'm on your line. For not long ago, we were talking about Grimm fairy tale, and it was about a goat who would be grassing on a grave. And I was so disturbed. Why would people let a goat grass on somebody's grave? And then it turned out to be a bad translation. It wasn't the intention, it was the translation. And then you see how it goes when you always have to be. It's good if you can read these stories in the original language, because also through translation there can be silly mistakes who takes the focus away from what was meant, and you just gets confused.
Yeah, I like your point about translation. I think we were talking the other day about translating the Odyssey, and traditionally been translated by a man, and now it's been translated by a woman, and it has a very subtle difference, and the words we use have power, you know, from a woman's perspective or a man's perspective even, or even your own biases and beliefs around the story. So that's really true.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite story that you like to tell?
I have 1,000.
It's like asking your favourite child.
Yes. I do believe it's a little about how I feel and what mood. Which one is my fairy tale? But I will mention one. It is some kind of tale. It's written by a Swedish author named Astrid Lindgren. and she had made the most fantastic and beautiful fairy tales. Um, for instance, the brothers Lionheart, and the one which I love the most is Mio, my Mio. And I read it when I was, I guess I was about 10, 9, 10. And it's about a abandoned child who finds his family in another world, his father. And he also finds tasks he has to do, which he chooses to do, um, to help people, children who have been stolen by a black knight. And it helped me so much to have comfort in that there would be something for me in this world who could give my life meaning, and there would be love in this world for me as well. I had it through that book. Yeah, Mio, Mio, my Mio. I don't know. I know that in the English-speaking countries you are not familiar with Astrid Lindgren and her writings, but it is a world of beauty and pain.
I'll definitely go look her up. That sounds wonderful. Yeah.
Have you heard of her before?
Oh, the name rings a bell, but it could be anything from. And you said you mostly work with adults or children and adults and
Adults,
yeah.
but also children. Yeah.
So, when you leave here, what do you hope to do at this early stage?
I hope to be hired of different organizations to come and make workshops with the co-workers.
Oh, okay. So in business.
Yes, in business or in kindergartens, and yeah.
That sounds like a great goal.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So in our tech-heavy world, we've got a lot of technology, a lot of screens, and this podcast is called The Heart of Storytelling. What do you think is at the heart of storytelling, and why do we still need the oral tradition?
We need it because that we actually, as a story is always, has always a gift. If it's a good story. And we need those gifts because it is like magic. I do believe that stories are the closest we can come to magic without drugs.
And why we need them today?
Because otherwise the life would be two-dimensional.
Two-dimensional.
Yeah.
So do you think stories bring flesh to the bones, or in a way? So stories bring flesh to our souls, or is that what you mean?
Yes, a lot of flesh and oxygen and colors and the promise that you're not alone, that there is more in life than just your cell phone, your car and your television set and your muscles who will grow and grow.
Yeah, well, that's a great answer. Thank you. Do you have any advice for storytellers, some wisdom that you can pass on?
if I have experienced something, I actually do believe that there is a need for stories nowadays, and people are open for them. I do believe we can tell each other stories when we are waiting for the bus and in the bus, and when we're waiting for the doctors, and when we are near each other, we can tell a little story. Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be a performance, it can be in the everyday.
Yeah. And I especially believe that children and youngsters has such a need of meeting people eye to eye and have their focus in a story. And it's kind of unpersonal, which also gives a space for the individual.
So your advice is tell stories all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but also be sensitive. Is it suitable now, or what story? Yeah.
How do you decide when the right time is to tell a story in that environment?
You can ask. This come to mind. Is it okay that I'll tell it? Try to hear it.
So asking permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's beautiful. I really love that.
Yeah.
That's great advice. If people want to hire you to do storytelling, where can they find you?
I can be reached at my email.
Okay. Well, we might put that in the interview notes, and then
yes, you can do
put
that.
the
Yeah,
interview
that's
notes
okay.
and stuff. So
Yeah.
if people want to contact you and have you come and tell some stories, that would be really great.
Yes, tell some stories and make a lot of activities.
Yeah. So what sort of activities would you be doing?
So my aim is to make activities that makes people look at each other and themselves with new eyes. To bring them more together, to let them know that together we are strong and we can create a fine living together. To make bridges to each other through those activities. They're exploring each other's abilities, which in a place where we work, we just see one side of each other, but there's so much more to that. And to express themselves, because to express yourself is to be alive.
That's a beautiful way to finish. Express yourself is a beautiful way to be alive. I love that. Yeah. Thank you so much, Lisbeth,
Thank
for
you,
chatting with me
Alyssa.
today.
It was fun.
Thank you.
Well, that's our episode for today. I hope you've enjoyed learning about storytelling and folktale, fairytale, myth, legend, or personal tales, wonder tales, all sorts of stories, and the art of storytelling, and why we really need to continue using it today. You can find more information about me at alyssacurtain.com or at Alyssa Curtain Stories on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I hope that you can find your heart in storytelling.